you ever notice how Usopp's lies become reality one after another? Or did you know that Oda revealed in an SBS how big his sword is? Damn, it's getting spicy over here. Well, if you didn't know, here are 32 secrets you probably didn't know about One Piece. Before we begin, let's not forget the classic, the one and only. So let's start with the most powerful man, the myth, the legend, God Usopp. If you take out the double P in Usopp's name, this will give us the Japanese word Uso, which means to lie. Coincidence? I think not. One of Usopp's epic lies was when he bragged about chopping up a giant goldfish and serving it to the little people. A few chapters later, we saw that giant goldfish in Little Garden during the Dressrosa arc. It turned out true that little people he mentioned do eat the giant fish. The goldfish is not the only giant lie that came true. We also witnessed the Cerebrus in Thriller Bark and the dragon in Punk Hazard. There's only one lie that I wished had come true though, and it was when Usopp tried to comfort his sick mom by saying there's a legendary medicine, it can cure any sickness. Sadly, at that time there was no such medicine to cure Usopp's mother, but we all know that this will soon come true because it is Chopper's dream to become a doctor that can cure everything. However, did you know that a cuddly doctor isn't as cuddly as you might think? Chopper's original design looks like this. Oda originally planned for Chopper to be a long-necked reindeer with a zebra gene. Plus, he also had a hardcore habit of smoking. Damn, Doc, how you a doctor and just ruining your own health? Well, that might speak to some of the current doctors we might have as well. Aside from our friendly doctor, Kuma's early design looks a lot more like pirate cyberpunk. If you look closely at Kuma's head, there's a ship wheel sticking out of it, which kinda looks like a mohawk. Rock and roll, baby! It seems like Oda liked the idea and reused the design for Golden Lion Shiki. Kuma's not the only warlord who has early concepts. Gekko Moriya's original character design is very interesting, and I kinda like it by the way. Moriya wasn't supposed to be a giant, gothing looking bowling pin. The original design was for him to be a priest with an evil split personality. I really like the split personality theme. It always adds a mysterious vibe. You know what I mean? Kinda like Marvel's Moon Knight or the movie Split. Talking about personality, Crocodile's character trait was meant to be different. His appearance remained the same, but originally he would constantly ask people riddles, which seems like a reference to the Sphinx from Oedipus. And if that wasn't enough, his hook was even shaped like a question mark. Now, I've been wondering if Luffy might find himself not just having a tough time fighting Crocodile, but also grappling with answering those riddles. Maybe Luffy couldn't care less about it. I just remembered something weird. In SBS 99, question number 12, you won't believe what this fan dared to ask Oda-sensei. They requested a drawing of Yamato's side boob as a human. Yamato's side. What the hell is wrong with you people? Now, if you're expecting something really spicy, here it is. Our classic sensei gave us this. Setting aside Yamato, have you ever imagined what Zoro's swords might look like if they ate the Hito Hito no Mi? Turns out, they're gonna be not as gorgeous as we all thought. In fact, it seems like they're much more aesthetically pleasing in their sword form. Let's keep them that way, guys. Let's make a team decision, everyone here, to never let that happen where they get into human forms. Everybody agree? Say aye.
Aye, aye, Captain! Aye, aye, sir!
They kind of remind me of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Who remembers that? Please write it in the comments if you remember that show. This really takes me back to my age. I never liked the show, but, you know, one of those shows that was always on TV. Enough with the weird-looking drawings, and let's continue the conversation with the most beautiful woman, Boa Hancock. The question is, do you have any idea of what our pirate empress's measurements are? Maybe Luffy knows. Oda has given us the blessing of this answer. Her bust size measures 111. Her waist size measures 61, and her hip size comes in at 91. And to go even further, you won't believe that in SBS 58, it was confirmed that Hancock was a dare I say, J-Cup. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. She had a bigger bust size than Nami and Robin before the time skip. Ooh, back pain alert. Ever wondered where the heck Oda got Boa's last name from? It turns out it dates back to the 19th century from a British engineer named Thomas Hancock. This dude played a major role in kickstarting Britain's rubber industry. Hancock, rubber, Luffy. Oda knows how to make a good reference. Since I brought up Luffy, have you ever noticed the connection between our future Pirate King and the number 56? You know how Oda loves his Japanese wordplay, right? Well, check this out. The number 5 sounds go, and the number 6 can be read as mu when you put them together. Some fans have been speculating that this could be a hint about Luffy's final bounty, which could potentially reach 5.6 billion berries. While Roger's bounty was confirmed to be 5.5 billion, Luffy ending up with 5.6 billion berries surpassing the Pirate King would make a lot of sense. Yet, you know what really makes sense? If you subscribe, so we can discover more secrets in One Piece together. Now let's have a quick chat with one of Luffy's toughest opponents, Katakuri. His devil fruit was initially intended to be the Kona Kona no Mi, or the flower fruit. But then Oda was like, nah, let's go with mochi instead. Smart decision, because mochi has a lot more creative properties than flower. Seriously, what would you even do with flower? Like sprinkle it on Luffy till he suffocates? Oh wait, I think that works as well. So I've been reading a lot of SBS, and I found something funny in volume 90. A fan mentioned that after Luffy defeated Katakuri, Luffy covered Katakuri's mouth with his hat. The fan then stated that whenever they come across a naked Oda sleeping on the side of the road, they would cover Oda's proof of manhood with a hat. Oda confirmed that it had actually happened, admitting to occasionally sleeping naked on the side of the road. Then Oda asked, but can you really hide it? My proof of manhood with a hat? Damn, that's funny. What a legend. Anyway, remember when Garp stayed awake for 5 days straight to break the record for eating the most donuts? Okay, now pause the video. That's right, pause the video and take a guess in the comments. How many donuts do you think Garp ate? Ready? He ate 842 donuts. Well, hello diabetes. But who holds the highest record? Well, it's no surprise that Katakuri takes the crown. Given his love for donuts, in fact, he ate them so frequently that his mouth artificially expanded. However, I think it's Akainu who truly deserves the title when it comes to donuts. I know you're probably already craving some donuts right now, but the bad news is, we're not done yet. Have you ever come across any weird anime commercials? One Piece had one of those commercials too, set in a modern day Japanese high school. It's really fun to watch because it's incredibly well animated. The funny thing is, even though we have the internet, I still find myself waiting for that commercial to appear on TV. Do you remember now? Yeah, that's the commercial for instant noodles. We all know that Boa Hancock isn't the only gorgeous lady in town. One of the most famous pretty ladies on our list is Perona. She may have been introduced as a villain and spooky in a way, but she became popular because she's cute. Even the most beautiful woman in One Piece got jealous of Perona, by the way. Snap! I just remembered that movie was not canon. Still, just saying. Another lady on our list is Odin, or Yamato. In Japan, there's a term called Yamato Narishiko, which represents the ideal feminine qualities. While Yamato's the complete opposite. Not only does she rebel against her father, Kaido, but she actually identifies herself as a man. Also, fans have noticed similarities between Yamato and Oscars from the anime Rose of Versailles. Have you watched it? They say it's a classic. Maybe you should add it to your list if you are a classic person. So like Yamato, Oscar was a female at birth but took the identity of a man. Interestingly, just before Yamato's introduction, Oda mentioned reading Rose of Versailles and being surprised by Oscar's true gender. Oda-sensei really loves to draw inspiration from real people. One of them is the former commanding officer of CP9 and CP5, Spandam. Yeah, that son of a bit. Did you know that he was actually based on a famous WWE wrestler, Mankind? Also, characters like Blackbeard and Whitebeard, they're actually based on a real-life pirate named Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard. Let us first talk about the former Emperor Edward Newgate, Whitebeard. I know you're probably thinking, why is he called Whitebeard when he only has a mustache? I've been thinking that my whole life. You blame the English translation for that one. Whitebeard's Japanese name is Shirohige. Shiro means white, and higo is a word they use for any kind of facial hair. Now let's move on to the treacherous bastard Marshall D. Teach. The real Blackbeard, or Edward Teach, was notorious for lighting his beard with matches to give himself a more sinister appeal. The thing is, when he lights up those matches and places them in his beard, does his beard get burned? Does he ever run out of beard? Do not tell me his beard is fireproof. By the way, have you noticed these two lovely ladies just hanging around Blackbeard? They are called Tori and Maki, and when you combine their names, you get Torimaki. In Japanese, this translates to gold digger. I told you, Oda, this guy just loves playing with words. Wait, I just remembered. You've been here a while, but you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Subscribe! I can track you, you know that, right? Aside from well-known pirates, Oda also took inspiration from actors. All the admirals shown so far are based upon famous Japanese actors and are drawn to resemble them. The original 3 admirals are based on Yusaku Matsuda, Kuni Tanaka, and Bunta Sugawara. Meanwhile, the new admirals include Fujitora, who's based on Shintaro Katsu, which is my favorite by the way, Ryokogyu, who takes after Yoshio Harada. Another character that is based on a real actor is Emporio Ivankov. Ivankov is famous for looking like Dr. Frankenfurter from the film Rocky Horror Picture Show. But Oda revealed that Ivankov is actually based on Japanese actor Norio Imamura, who was the original voice actor for the character before he resigned due to personal controversies. Another interesting fact about Ivankov is his prisoner identification number 6582. While number 6582 is the scientific gene identification number for humans, this connection becomes clear when you consider Ivankov's devil fruit, the Horu Horu no Mi. In English, it means hormone. Ivankov is not the only character whose name involves numbers. Another example is Drake. You used to call me on the cell phone, late night when you need my love. Moving on, like the others, I usually pronounce his name as X-Drake, which I honestly don't see any logic at all in until I figured out that I'm reading it wrong. It's not supposed to be read as X-Drake, but Diez Drake. X is a Roman numeral for 10, and the number 10 is called Diez in Spanish. Do you remember the first 2 badass mythical Zoan fruits that were introduced in the Marineford arc? We had Marco's Phoenix fruit, and also former Fleet Admiral Sengoku's Golden Buddha. Now during the Wano arc, in case you didn't notice, 6 of them were revealed. The Yamato no Orochi, the Hito Hito no Mi, Onyudo fruit, which is basically a large monk yokai, Katarina Devon's 9-tailed fox fruit, Yamato's wolf deity fruit, Kaido's mythical fish fruit, and my favorite, Luffy's Nika fruit. Oh, I almost forgot, there's also Stronger, who was revealed during the Egghead Island arc and possesses the mythical Pegasus fruit. It's not a secret that Oda hails from Kumamoto City. Back in 2016, when a devastating earthquake struck the city, Oda didn't hesitate to make a substantial donation to support its reconstruction. As a result, magnificent life-size bronze statues of all 10 Straw Hat Pirates were created. These statues are a must-see for die-hard fans. Well, I guess I'm gonna start saving right now. Do you have any clue of where Doflamingo's family name comes from? It comes from a Spanish story called El Ingenioso Hidalgo Don Quito de la Mancha. Thank the Lord I took Spanish classes. Wait, I didn't take any Spanish classes. While his first name Doflamingo comes from the pink feathers he wears, which of course resemble those of a flamingo, yet according to some fans, Doflamingo's name might be based on a well-known chain of department stores in Japan called Don Quito. It's possible because it aligns with Doflamingo's role as he sells smile fruits. Speak of the devil, smiles. Have you ever thought about Oda's favorite smile users? In SPS 99, Oda revealed his top 3 smile users: Speed, Hamlet, and especially Hold'em. Hold'em was inspired by a robot with a lion face on its chest from an anime called Future Robot Daltanius. You may have noticed him, or you may not. Panda Man is one of the most prominent Easter eggs in One Piece. Panda Man can be seen in almost every arc, aside from the Amazon Lily since no men are allowed on that island. Instead, a character named Panda Woman appears in his place. Guess what's more panda-tastic? I mean, what is the reason for Panda Man's existence? Panda Man was actually created as part of a wacky character creation contest for the manga Kinnikuman, aka Ultimate Muscle in English. Yeah, that's right, I watched it. On Saturday mornings it would come with Jackie Chan Adventures and Metabots. Who else remember those shows? Oda's not just a master of Easter eggs, but also a god of foreshadowing. And there are plenty of examples. One of my favorites, even though it's from a filler episode, is when Zoro gave Luffy an X-shaped scar on his chest. Fast forward, Luffy received a scar from Akainu during the Marineford arc. Zoro may have given Luffy a badass scar in that filler episode, but have you ever wondered who gave Zoro the scar on his left eye? And what kind of monster do you think resides within it?